Romans chapter 11 asks them, did God reject his people? By no means. I'm just like myself, a descendant of Abraham, from the tribe of Benjamin. God did not reject his people, whom he foreknew. Don't you know what the scripture says in the passage about Elijah? How he appealed to God against Israel. Lord, they have killed your prophets and torn down your altars. I'm the only one left, and they tried to kill me. What was God's answer to him? I have reserved for myself 7,000 who are not bow the knee to bow. So too, at the present time there is a remnant chosen by grace. And if by grace, then can be based on works. If it were, grace would no longer be grace. What then? What the people of Israel sought to earnestly they did not obtain, the elect among them did, but the others were hardened. As is written, God gave them a spirit of stupor, eyes that could not see, and ears that could not hear, to this very day. And David says, may their table become a snare, and a tramp, a stumbling block, and retribution for them. May their eye be darkened so they can't see, and their backs be bent forever. Again ask, did they stumble so as to fall beyond recovery? Not at all. Rather, because of transgression, salvation has come to the Gentiles to make Israel envious. But if their transgression means riches for the world, and their loss means riches for the Gentiles, how much greater riches will their full inclusion bring? I'm talking to you, Gentiles. Inasmuch as I am the apostle to the Gentiles, I take pride in my ministry, in the hope that I may somehow arouse my own people to envy and save some of them. For if the rejection brought reconciliation to the world, what would their acceptance be but life from the dead? If the part of the dove offered as a first fruit is holy, then the whole branch is holy. If the root is holy, so are the branches. If some of the branches have been broken off, and you, though a wild olive shoot, have been grafted in among the others, and now share in the nourishing sap from the olive root, do not consider yourself to be superior to those other branches. If you do, consider this. You do not support the root, but the root supports you. You'll see them, branches were broken off, so that I could be granted. But they were broken off because of unbelief. And you stand by faith. Do not be arrogant, but tremble. For if God did not spare the natural branches, he will not spare you either. Consider therefore the kindness and sternness of God. Stern to those who fell, but kindness to you, provided that you continue in his kindness. Otherwise, you also will be cut off. If they do not persist in unbelief, they will be grafted in, for God is able to graft them in again. After all, if you are cut off of the olive tree that is wild by nature and contrary to nature, or grafted in the cultivated olive tree, how much more readily will this, the natural branches, be grafted into their own olive tree? I do not want you to be ignorant of this mystery, brothers and sisters, so that you may not be conceited. Israel has experienced a hardening in part until the full number of the Gentiles has come in. In this way, all Israel will be saved. And it is written, the deliverer will come from Zion. He will turn godlessness away from Jacob. And this is my covenant with them when I take away their sins. As far as the gospel is concerned, they are enemies for your sake. But as far as election is concerned, they are allowed on account of the patriarchs. For God's gifts and his call are irrevocable. Just as you, when at one time disobedient God, have now received mercy as a result of their disobedience, so they too have now become disobedient in order that they too may now receive mercy as a result of God's mercy to you. For God has bound everyone over to disobedience, so that he may have mercy on them all. Oh, the depths, riches, wisdom, and knowledge of God. How unsearchable his judgments, and his paths beyond tracing out. Who has known the mind of the Lord? Or who has been his counselor? Who has ever given to God, that God should repay them? For from him, and through him, and for him are all things. To him be the glory forever. Amen.